Hi guys. Uh, Hello.
Hi, what's up?
Hi, good evening. All good? How is it going for you?
Yeah. What about you?
Not too bad. Thanks for asking. Do we have a class today? Because I don't see anybody has joined yet.
Yeah, I don't know too. I actually missed last class. I tried to ask people what happened.
So
Nobody
did I.
replied. Yeah.
Unfortunately,
We
I too
we
did
are
miss the.
supposed to have a class today, but yeah, I think the mentor hasn't joined yet.
Right. So we will wait for her to join in and rest of the people too.
Anyways, do you guys have any notes like for the couple of classes?
Uh, well, I think it's there on WhatsApp. They have shared a kind of a OneDrive which I haven't got a chance to have a look on it, but it should be there.
We have
It
class
only has the
recordings of
video
these
classes.
classes.
I thought some PDF notes that has been shared with the class would have been helpful.
Not yet, I guess.
Yeah. I'll ask about that today then.
Yeah, there
Mhm.
aren't any PDF notes as such, but whatever she shares on screen, those documents are uploaded on a folder on the drive. And the
Is
Oh,
drive
it uploaded?
on the drive,
Yeah.
and there's a drive link which is shared in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, but in the drive link, there's only video classes of the Zoom meeting we are having.
Georgina,
Uh,
did you look at that? I mean, did you get a chance to have a look on it?
Yeah. I just looked at it right now because there's no doc links there, only video links are there.
one second.
Hallo, guten Abend.
But no, no.
Yeah, we'll just wait a couple of minutes for the rest of them also to join in. Okay, some of them are still joining the call. Okay, and then we can start. Right?
Ma'am, I wanted to ask, can you share the doc links for the things you have been sharing on?
It's already shared on the group. I think they just put it up today itself. So if you
Yeah,
want,
ma'am, but there's only video links of the classes. There's no like the documents that you have been
okay.
shared.
There are so today the link that has got you're there on the WhatsApp group, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so there are three links. I think there is one that is a recording, session 4 recording.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Then there is a link for this meeting.
And there's the drive link,
Yeah,
ma'am.
and
That
then
the 4 session classes are there, but there's
yeah.
no doc file in that.
There's no document
Yeah.
because it says A1 German classes folder. 1 minute, let me just check that.
If you can upload it right now, it will be good for us because I can
I don't
simultaneously
have
go through
the
it.
link. Okay, 1 minute. I'll just check the older link that they have forwarded on the group because the link I am using is a different one. Yeah, so I think this is the file. I'll just reshare it on WhatsApp or I'll just pin it probably. Yeah. Um. Yeah. 1 minute. I'll just forward that. Event resources folder. I think it's showing. Yeah, this is the link. So it's the same. I think are there multiple folders that y'all can see there? Yeah, I'll just share that once again.
And for now, there is only one drive link from a guy named Haider Abbas.
Yeah,
So
I
in
have
that,
shared.
they have 4 sessions of the Zoom recording with the classes we had.
Okay, so
Other
this
than
is
that,
the
I was
one which they
hoping
have
like if we can
shared.
get the PDF or the Word file that you've been
Can you
using.
check it right
Yeah,
now?
yeah, yes. The one which you just shared, yes, that one has
That
the
is the
PDF
one.
file.
No? Yeah, it
Yes.
was shared earlier. So I think it's all in the same folder, but I'm not sure because I'm accessing it from a different link. So this was
No, it's in different folders actually because the latest drive link takes us only to the recordings, which is what this
okay.
person is talking about.
Okay.
And the earlier previous link, it only has this one document.
Yeah, so I'll just pin it here. Like this is the same link that was shared. No, let me just check. Yeah. Yeah. So this is the one. I think it's pinned uh, on the group also. So there are two pins. I think one is the one is the schedule and one is the link. So you can find it pinned to the WhatsApp group. Okay, I'll just mention
Thank
it
you,
here.
ma'am. Ma'am, also, if you don't mind, can you just put it in the WhatsApp description so we can directly access it?
Oh, okay. All right, 1 second. I'll just copy it.
Ma'am, if you can also ask them to share the recording as soon as the class is completed, because I got the recording today in the evening, but I didn't get a chance to go through it. I missed my last class, unfortunately.
Okay. I'll just ask them. I'll ask them to share it as soon as possible. But I think by the time we finish, I think the office is closed. So it takes a little while for the recording to upload because it's not accessible immediately. So it
Yeah,
takes a
not
couple of
not
hours.
even immediately, at least the next
The
day.
same day, no? Like the
Yeah,
next day morning or so.
next
Okay,
day
I'll
morning,
just
yes.
notify them. Yeah, I'll ask them. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. No problem. So yeah, let us start. Anybody has any questions before we go ahead? Okay. So we have, this is almost, this is our 5th class, right? So far, how have you all been finding the classes? How is the pace? Because that is one concern I always have, because if it feels fast or so, let me know. Because if it ever feels like, you know, the course is going too fast. So how are you all finding the pace so far? Is it okay? Is it fine? Are you all able to understand, or no? Anybody still finding it faster?
It's
As
good,
of now,
ma'am.
it's okay.
As of now, it's good.
All okay? All right. So if you all have any suggestions or anything, just please feel free to let me know. Okay, there's no problem. You can just tell me if there is anything, or if there is anything y'all need additionally. Because I think in a couple of days, like in next week, we are gonna be starting with hardcore grammatic. Okay, that is, we'll get into verbs, we'll get into sentence structures and all of that. So it can happen that it gets a little bit intensive at that time. Okay, so of course, if there is anything, any concept that you all don't understand or if you all have doubts or so, best cases, you all ask me there and then. But if later on also, no, you all go through the recordings, feel like you've forgotten something, or you all are not able to understand the concept, you can always let me know. I don't mind going over the concept again. So don't think that, okay, we've finished this, I might not repeat it. Don't worry, it's not like that. If you all are not able to understand, I don't mind doing quick brush ups at the beginning of the class, or like recaps before the class, because mostly Monday onwards, we are going to be diving into the core grammatic, that is the core of the language. So we're done with more or less whatever the basics are. Okay. All right. So yeah, let us start. So just give me 1 minute. Yeah. Okay. So the last class we ended with nouns. Okay. So time and again, we will be discussing the nouns, like different groups of noun. We will discuss one more group of noun today itself. Okay, at the end of the class. Okay. So that is one thing. The genders of the nouns are something that y'all are gonna have to remember. Okay. All right. So today we will be starting with sich Vorstellen oder Selbstdarstellung, that is self-introduction that you do in Deutsch. Okay. So we're going to be learning how to introduce yourself in Deutsch. Now the courses that we do now, they are according to a European framework. All right. And the first part, or the primary part, that they expect you to learn, or they expect you to know, is how to introduce yourself in Deutsch. Okay. Now, what we are learning here, it is going to be relevant for you if you're going for interviews, like job interviews, because it's a very common question that you will get asked. That is, please tell us something about yourselves. Okay, it's a part of your exam. So all those of you who are giving the A1 exam, A2 exam, this is gonna be a part of your exam where you're gonna be evaluated on how you introduce yourself. Okay. And anywhere you go, any administrative purposes, anywhere, people ask you, okay, please tell us something about yourself. These are the standard pointers that you can use. Of course, as you go ahead and learn more about the language, you can add more pointers to this introduction, and more information about yourself for the introduction. But for eins, this much is enough. Okay, so we have 7 pointers for introduction. We start with name, age, okay, the country that you come from, that is your country of origin, the place where you live, okay, that is number 4. Number 5 is Sprache, that is the languages that you speak. No, number 6, that is number 6 is your profession, and number 7 is your hobbies. Okay, now we are not going to be doing all 7 pointers of introduction at once. Okay, today I'm going to be doing 4 with you. Okay, but because for the other 3, we need to learn certain concepts for grammatic before we can go to those questions. Okay, so I'm starting out with 4 of them. Okay, now as I have mentioned earlier also, we are learning all of this right now collectively. Okay, like phrases, like statements, like how to say your name in Deutsch. That's it. Okay, we are not going to be getting into the grammatic portion of it. Okay, that is, we are not going to be getting into the grammar part of it. Okay, so how we made these questions, okay, what all of these words mean, like, what it means part by part, that we are going to be learning once we start with the grammar. And don't worry, when we are doing that grammar, when we are doing that concept, I will always come back to these questions to give you an idea, to connect these questions that we have learned to that concept that we will be learning at the time. Okay, so right now, don't worry about, okay, how will we know, how will we make these questions on our own? Once we get into the grammatic, you will be able to make these questions on your own as well. Okay. But now we're just going to be learning it as an introduction, like as a phrase, as phrases, like how will I introduce myself if I want to introduce in Deutsch. Okay, so we begin in jetzt. Nummer eins is Name. Okay, now if you see on the side, I have written the gender of the noun. Okay, so Name ist ein Maskulinnomen. The noun here that you have, Name, is masculine. Okay, just go along and remember it. Try to learn it there and then. Okay, so the noun is their Name, like we have seen. Na? So S is their Name. Okay, clear? So now the first question that we will be learning is how to ask somebody their name in Deutsch, Nummer eins, and how to respond when somebody asks me my name. There are again a couple of more ways in which you can ask somebody their name. I'm going to be doing a couple of them with you right now, but as we go ahead with the course, we will be learning all of them. Okay, so zuerst der Name. Okay, repeat it 2-3 times so that we can remember the article together. Okay, so their Name. Okay, their Name. Name is ein maskulin noun. Okay, now Name is divided into 2 parts. Now we haben 2 Teile. Nummer 1 is Vorname. Vorname is your first name. Okay, clear? So this is the Vorname. Article here again is there now because your noun ends with Name. So whenever that is the noun, gender is masculine. Okay, so this is their Name. Okay, then their Vorname. Okay, so Vorname is your first name. Okay, und danach gibt es Nachname oder Familienname. Okay, they are synonyms. They both mean the same. Nachname is your last name or your surname, or Familienname because it's your family name. Na? So this is Familienname. So you can use these nouns interchangeably. Okay, you can either use for Nachname or a Familienname. Okay, so we have individual questions for asking each of them. Okay, so let's say you are in a context where somebody just wants to know your first name. So in that case, they will make a question specifically directed to asking you, okay, just your first name. Okay, in certain contexts, they might make a question that is specifically directed to asking your last name. Or sometimes you will come across a question that is made to, specifically or that in general ask your name. So you can choose if you want to state just your first name, or it is appropriate in that context to state your first name and your last name. So this is again instinctive. Okay, if you're in a scenario where you feel like, okay, it's enough to state my first name, so be it, go ahead and just state your first name. If you feel like, no, I'm in a scenario where I feel it is important that I state my last name along with it, like state my full name, you can do that. Okay. Now, in the earlier classes, we did one concept that is formelle Gespräche und informelle Gespräche. That is, we did questions which were formal as well as informal, correct? So now any question that you are bound to ask, okay, even if it was as even if it was as simple as how are you, okay, like we saw in the previous class, okay. Clear? Wie geht's oder wie geht es dir und wie geht es Ihnen? No? So even if it is a question as simple as that, there are always two ways in which you can make them. Okay. First is it is gonna be formelle Frage. That is, it can be a formal question. Second, it can be an informelle Frage. That is an informal question. Okay, so even when it comes to asking somebody their names, we are gonna have two questions. Okay, one is a formal question, other is an informal question. Now, for the most part, if you see most of the questions that I have here, we are gonna be doing formella Frage. Okay, I'll give you the informal Frage right now if you all wish to know. But for informal and formal questions, for us to be able to make that distinction very, very clearly, we will have to wait till the end of this class, because probably today, if we have the time, I will start with that distinction of when to use formal, when to use informal. Okay. And then in the next week, sorry, in the next week, when we learn the verbs better, we will automatically know, okay, this is the context, this is informal, this is how my question should be, this is the context, it is formal, this is how my question should be. Okay, it's rooted in the grammatic, but I'm not directly jumping onto that. So the major questions, the questions that we have here are all formella Frage, more or less. I have added a couple of informal examples also. Okay, so I'll come back to these questions when we are doing our grammar, when we are actually learning our formula and informal. Okay, so now the next part that you see how the words are written on the screen. Okay, so Name, Vorname und Nachname. Okay, so Name, N is written as capital. Okay, Vorname, V ist groß, na? V is written as capital. Nachname, N is written as capital. So you have Vorname, Nachname. Now this is written in capitals because, okay, your noun will always be written in capital. Okay, this is the first letter of your noun is always going to be written in capital, regardless of where its state comes in your statement or in your question. Okay, writing nouns in small letters, okay, that is the first letter of your noun. If you write it as small, it's actually considered to be an error. This goes for proper nouns, common nouns, all nouns. Okay, so it's not like I only have to write the proper nouns in capital 9. All of the nouns that you have, all nouns have to be written in capitals. That is, the first letter has to be capital at all times. If you do this mistake in an exam, you actually lose marks for it. It doesn't look very professional if you are writing like this. Sorry. it doesn't look very professional if you're writing like this in your officially emails, business letters. Okay, so once you start working there, once you're actually using the language, this is something that you need to keep in mind. Okay, so whatever we are learning, it's always for practical purposes. This is how it actually works. So it's not like this is a very theoretical thing. No, it's actually used. So your nouns have to always, sorry, your nouns always have to be written in capitals. Okay. So Vorname, Nachname or a familiar name. So the erste Frage ist, wie ist Ihr Name? Okay. Now, if you see this I here is capital, okay, this I here is not a noun. Okay. So if you see it is not a noun, it is indicating formal. What grammatic significances it has, that we will learn later. Okay. So that I has to be written in capitals. It is depicting or it is showing you that the question you are asking is formal. Okay. So die Frage ist, Entschuldigung, wie ist Ihr Name? Oder wie ist dein Name? So dein Name, das ist eine informelle Frage. It is an informal question. Firstly, we have die Frage. This is a question word I have been using a lot right now. So we have die Frage. Frage means a question. Okay. So informelle Frage. Okay. Formelle Frage. Okay. And then you have die Antwort. Frage und Antwort. So Frage is a question, Antwort is an answer, okay, or a response. So formelle Frage oder informelle Frage. So wie ist Ihr Name? Das ist eine formelle Frage. Okay, that is, let's say I'm talking to my boss. Okay, then I have to show that respect, you know, I'm in a formal setup. So I'll use the question, wie ist Ihr Name? But let's say I meet somebody at a bar. Okay, and I ask, okay, wie ist dein Name? Both ways it is okay. It is asking the same thing, but contextually different. This is then formal und informal. Okay, so wie ist Ihr Name oder wie ist dein Name? Antwort ist, mein Name ist Ankita. Okay, so wie ist Ihr Name? Mein Name ist Ankita. So you all can repeat it once after me. We'll be practicing this a couple of times more. Okay, so I'll repeat it once. You all can repeat it after me. Wie ist Ihr Name? Wie ist dein Name? Mein Name ist, and you can repeat your name with that. Okay, so zum Beispiel, mein Name ist Ankita. Yeah, you have a question, Manvi?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, like at the moment, like we are doing only informal one. Like
No,
we
we're
can
doing
also.
formal and informal. So this is formal. Some places I have included formal also. So this is informal. Dein Name is informal.
Okay, ma'am, like I have heard like we can also say we hyphen Z or we hyphen do.
Yeah. Those are the other alternatives. We'll do this, then I'll come to that.
Okay,
Yeah.
ma'am.
D-hyphen Z is also an option which I'll do with you once this is done. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Ma'am, can we say ich bin also?
Yeah. You can say that. So that will be an option to V hyphen Z. That can be a response. So once we finish this, no, I'll give you those. There are two more questions. We will do them as well simultaneously. Yeah, you can say ich bin. Yeah. Okay. So wie ist Ihr Name? Mein Name is so and so. So you can repeat your names along with it. Okay. So I'll repeat it once more. Wie ist Ihr Name? Mein Name ist Ankita. Zum Beispiel. Okay. Klar? One more, last time. Wie ist Ihr Name? Okay. Oder? Wie ist dein Name? Mein Name ist. Follow it up with your name. Okay. All good? All right. Now, next, if I am specifically asking somebody for their first name. Okay, I don't want to know the last name. I'm just aiming at knowing, okay, the first name of this person. Okay, so wie ist Ihr Vorname. Now the same question you can use. Now, wie ist dein Vorname? So, ihr ist formell, dein ist informell. Okay, so ihr oder dein. Okay, so wir wiederholen das einmal. Wie ist Ihr Name? Wie ist dein Name? Mein Name ist. Okay, and follow it up with your name. Okay, so you can repeat it. Okay, then we go to Vorname. So, wie ist Ihr Vorname? Wie ist dein Vorname? Mein Vorname ist. Again, follow it just with your first name. Now, when you're saying mein Name ist, you can also repeat your full name here. Okay, so Name optional, your call. Full first name, second name, both. Vorname und Nachname zusammen. Okay, oder nur Vorname. That is, you can just say, okay, mein Vorname. Okay, ja. Then weiter. Wie ist Ihr Vorname? Wie ist dein Vorname? Okay, mein Vorname ist. Okay, mein Vorname ist just your first name here. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Then weiter. Next is Nachname. Okay, so Nachname is just your surname, just your last name. Okay, so wie ist Ihr Nachname? Mein Nachname ist. Okay, so follow it up now only with your last name. Okay, noch einmal. Okay, so wie ist Ihr Name? Once more. Wie ist dein Name? Mein Name ist. Okay, then wie ist Ihr Vorname? Wie ist Ihr. Okay, wie ist dein Vorname? Entschuldigung. Mein Vorname ist. Okay, dann weiter. Wie ist Ihr Nachname? Mein Nachname ist. And follow it up with your last. Okay. Now, additionally, like we were talking about, there are two more questions. One question here is we. Okay. We hyphen Z. Okay. We hyphen Z. You can say ich heiße and follow it up with your name. Okay, so we heißen Sie, zum Beispiel ich heiße Ankita. Okay, so you can always say, hallo, ich heiße Ankita. Wie heißen Sie? Okay, now this S is capital again because it is formal. Okay, clear? So this S is capital again because it is formal. Okay, so wie heißen Sie? Ich heiße Ankita. There is another way in which you can ask somebody their name. It is where sind Sie? This is only formal. Huh? The informal ones I'll teach you when I do verbs with you. Okay, so right now you can just learn the formal. Okay, where sind Sie? Where sind Sie? Indirectly, it equates to like you're asking somebody, who are you? Okay, so this is the response. Somebody said, I can say ich bin also. No? That is also okay. So technically, you can mix and match. Somebody asks me, wie heißen Sie? I can say, mein Name ist Ankita. Somebody asks me, wie heißen Sie? I can say, ich bin Ankita. Somebody asks me, wie ist Ihr Name? I can say, ich heiße Ankita. So there is no right and wrong. You don't have to match your answer that way. As long as you state your name in any form, it is fine. Okay. So wie heißen Sie? Repeat it once after me. Wie heißen Sie? Okay. Ich heiße Ankita. You can follow it up with your name. Okay. Wer sind Sie? Ich bin. Okay. Yeah. That S is capital because it is formal. That I here is capital because it is formal. Hold on to that much for now. We'll do this in the classes to come. So far good? Anybody has any questions? Okay. All right. How many of you are there on this call today? 7, 3. All right. Okay. Shall we move on to the next question? Yeah. Okay. Chats are on. Clear? Yeah. Clear? All right. Okay. I have a question here in the chat. When do we use mine and minor? Okay. I'll come to that when we do the concept. So there are these articles that we will be learning. As far as now, just remember mine is masculine, minor is feminine. Okay. So it is mine nama because it's masculine. Okay. But we'll be learning this concept more in detail, like genders, articles. So there is a lot more to that. I'll teach you that when we come to it. Okay. So don't worry. Yeah. Thus, next or the next Frage ist Land. Land is country. That is why Deutschland. Okay. So land is country. Plural is Länder. Okay. A umlaut N D A R. So ein Land singular. Aber 5 Länder. Ja, singular und plural. So das Land, die Länder. Okay. Also, so die nächste Frage ist, woher kommen Sie? Okay, so if you want to ask somebody where they are from, okay, where is their country of origin? Okay, where are you from? So if somebody is from Deutschland, okay, somebody is Deutsch, they'll say, ja, ich komme aus Deutschland. Okay, for us, the answer can be, or the answer will be, Entschuldigung, ich komme aus Indien. Okay, so the country India is called as Indian. Okay, now this is again a section that we will be learning how different countries are called differently in Deutsch. Okay, so like in English, we say Germany. Aber auf Deutsch sagt man Deutschland. Na? There is no word called as Germany in German. So German, Germany, these are all English words. But in Deutsch, they will say Deutsch, Deutschland. Okay, the full thing is Bundesrepublik Deutschland. This is Republic of Germany, like Republic of Deutschland, basically. Okay, so similarly, India is an English word. So we say India because it is in English. Now there are some words which are, some countries which are called similarly. Okay, there is the spelling is the same, only slight difference in pronunciation. Like say for example, Japan, the spelling is Japan. Okay, but we call it Japan. China, the spelling is same, but we'll call it China. Okay, so that part we will learn. So there are some countries where the spellings are same as what we have in English. It's only the pronunciation that's a bit different. But when it comes to India, the country is called as Indian. Okay, so the answer here has to be Ich komme aus Indien. Okay, so I'll repeat it once. You all can repeat it after me. Okay. Woher kommen Sie? If you see, we are not stressing on that R. Okay, it's not woher. We're not stressing on that R. It's woher kommen Sie? Ich komme aus Indien. Okay, so it depends when you are from. If you're from India, I'll say, ja, ich komme aus Indien. You're from Japan, you can say, ja, ich komme aus Japan. You're from Deutschland, you can say, ja, ich komme aus Deutschland. Ich komme aus zum Beispiel Australien. Okay, so you learn how these different countries are, or how they are called in Deutsch. Okay, but for now, we'll only stick to 2 countries. This is Deutschland and India. Okay, clear? So we'll repeat this once more. All right. Anybody who is not from India? No. Yeah. Yeah, we had a couple of, like in the last batch, we had a few students who were not from India. So yeah, they're from Europe ideally. Indian born, but not from here. So then you have to use your country like that. So I'm just checking. Okay. Alles gut? Indian? Okay, so woher kommen Sie? Ich komme aus Indien. Okay, from Nepal. Nepal is Nepal. Spelling is the same. Okay, ich komme aus Nepal. Okay, so there's not a different word. The pronunciation also matches, na? That is a. So Nepal. Yeah. Okay, so you can say Ishkhama aus Nepal. Yeah. Anybody else? Okay. All right. Good. So yeah. So you can repeat it as Ishkhama aus Nepal. Yeah. Have a question?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, is it specifically used for a country, or we can like also state our like city name or a state name?
You can state a name of a city or a country. So let's say if you ask me woher kommen Sie, I can say, yeah, ich komme aus Mumbai. Or if I am from Frankfurt, zum Beispiel, so I can say, ja, ich komme aus Frankfurt. So it doesn't have to be the name of a country. It can be the name of a state. It can be a name of a city. Both ways, it's okay, depending on what you want to say. So for example, within Deutschland, sometimes it's very obvious that the person is German. But if somebody asks that person, woher kommen Sie? So in that case, that person can say, ja, ich komme aus Hamburg, because he's German. That fact means that's already established. So in that case, it doesn't make sense to say, ja, ich komme aus Deutschland. For example, when there are 3 Germans talking, when they ask, okay, woher kommst du? Then it makes sense to state the name of the city or the state. Okay, so one person says, for example, ich komme aus Frankfurt. Somebody else says, ja, ich komme aus Berlin. Somebody else says, ja, ich komme aus Stuttgart. Okay, so similarly, let's say you have 3 Indians who are talking in German. Now they have established the fact that yes, they are from India. But now you need to know where they're from within India. So then your conversation will change. So it can be ich komme aus Mumbai, ich komme aus Delhi, ich komme aus Bangalore, ich komme aus Pune. No? So you can use that as well. That's also correct. It's all contextual. So there's nothing like a hard and fast rule. Okay? Yeah?
Okay, ma'am.
All right. Anybody else has any other questions? Okay. So yeah. Also, then kommen wir zur nächste Frage. Okay. So the next Frage is Wohnort. Okay. Wohnort is the place where you live. So nomen again masculine. Der Wohnort. Okay, so the Wohnort is the place where you stay. Again, this can be a name of a country, this can be a name of a state, this can be a name of a city, depending on what you want to suggest. Okay, so the Frage nochmals is, wo wohnen Sie? So if you compare it with the previous question, woher kommen Sie? Kommen is to come from somewhere. Okay, so ich komme aus Indien. Aber wohnen, das Verb wohnen bedeutet to live. Okay, so if you are already in Germany, you can state the city that you live in. So zum Beispiel, ich wohne in Berlin, ich wohne in Hamburg, ich wohne in Stuttgart, ich wohne in Mannheim. Okay, so Städtenamen, which is names of cities. If you are in India, you can state the name of the city that you live in. So wo wohnen Sie? Zum Beispiel, ich wohne in, follow it up by the name of your city. Okay, so we wiederholen the assignment. Okay, so wo wohnen Sie? Ich wohne in. Okay, once more, let's repeat it once. Wo wohnen Sie? Ich wohne in. Okay, clear? So far good? Anybody has any questions, any doubts? All right. Okay, so we'll repeat these questions once. Okay, so let us start. Okay. Wie ist Ihr Name? Okay, oder wie ist dein Name? Mein Name ist. Okay. Wie ist Ihr Vorname? Mein Vorname ist. Okay. Wie ist Ihr Nachname? Mein Nachname ist. Okay. Dann weiter. Wie heißen Sie? Ich heiße. Wie heißen Sie? Ich heiße. Wer sind Sie? Okay. Ich bin. Ja, nochmals. Okay, klar? Dann weiter. Ja. Dann weiter. Next. Okay. Ja. Woher kommen Sie? Ich komme aus Indien. Okay, once more. Woher kommen Sie? Ich komme aus Indien. Dann weiter. Wo wohnen Sie? Ich wohne in. Okay, noch einmal. Wo wohnen Sie? Ich wohne in. Okay, also, klar? Alright. Okay. Yeah. Now, the next.
Ma'am, what is the meaning of Vonanzi and Ishvonani?
Wo wohnen Sie is where do you live? So wohnen means to stay somewhere, like to live somewhere. Okay.
Okay.
So woher kommen Sie is you are asking the person, okay, where do you come from? You need to know the origin.
And for Hyson?
Heißen more so it's like to be. Wo we heiß du. Like it's like who are you? So basically this does not have a literal meaning technically in English, but it's close to what do you call yourself? Okay. Or like in a way, who are you? That way. We heißen Sie.
So my name is Athar. So I can call myself Ish Hysa Athar.
Yeah, yes, correct. Ich heiße and you follow it up with your name. So Beispiel, hallo, ich heiße Ankita, wie heißt du? Oder Entschuldigung, wie heißen Sie? Okay, so then you can say ich heiße Athar. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Anybody else? Is there any other questions? Any doubts? Okay. All right. Now next, we go to Sprache. Sprache is language. Singular is die Sprache. Plural ist die Sprachen. Okay? So, eine Sprache, aber zwei Sprachen. Ja. Frage? Haben Sie eine Frage?
Yes, ma'am, like in this class, are we only doing the Z form? Like we will be doing like when we are going to do the do form.
In the next class, once I actually explain the pronouns and once we learn the verbs, after that we will do the informal form, not today. So I'll come back to these questions and then we will be doing the informal forms later on. Okay, so
Okay.
we are not going to be doing it today because today we'll first need to understand the different kinds of pronouns, no? So there are going to be different questions that you can make with these verbs. It's not just going to be ze and do. So when we go to the grammar, when we actually go to the verb, then we will come to the second person informal forms. Not today. Okay? Yeah. So today we'll only do format. Okay? Yeah. All right. I know a lot of y'all have already done the language before, so I know a lot of things are coming to your minds. It's like, yeah, but we can say this also, we can say this also. So don't worry, we'll cover all of that. But I know that there are a lot of them who are just starting out with the course. So this is their very first course. So I don't want to do too much at a time, just to make sure that I don't confuse them. Okay. So don't worry, just we will be covering everything, but just not at once. So if you all know what we have going ahead, don't worry, it's gonna come shortly. Okay, so we're gonna be doing all these pronouns, these verbs in the classes to come. Okay, articles, like somebody asked me about mine, minor. Okay, so all of that is gonna get covered. It's just that I'm not trying to cover a whole lot at once for the sake of the students who are like just starting out with the language and it's new for them. Okay, so don't worry, that doesn't mean you can't ask your questions, of course, but yeah, those parts we'll be covering later in the classes to come. Okay, got it? Yeah. So there are more forms, like he mentioned that there's going to be an informal form for second person, but I'm not covering that right now. I'm only doing the formal questions right now. So once we do those forms, we'll come back to these questions and we will see how to do the informal form. Okay, all right. So the next Frage is Sprache. Okay, Sprache is feminine. Okay, die Sprache, die Sprachen, das ist Plural. So eine Sprache, aber 5 Sprachen. Okay, so now the next question that we will be asking is pertaining to languages that you speak. Okay, so the Frage here is, welche Sprachen sprechen Sie? I'm using the plural form here because I need to know multiple languages that you speak, know all the languages that you speak. So the Frage here is, welche Sprachen sprechen Sie? Okay, now if you see the sounds here, okay, the pronunciation, the syllables, A se ha is pronounced as k. Okay, so it becomes welche Sprache. Okay, but a se ha, okay, e makes it sh. Okay, e makes it sh, na? So das ist welche Sprachen sprechen Sie? Klar? All right. So it is welche Sprachen sprechen Sie? I'll repeat it once. You all can repeat it after me. Okay. Welche Sprachen sprechen Sie? Okay. Yeah. Welche Sprachen sprechen Sie? Ich spreche. Okay. Now I'll state here all the languages that I speak. Okay. So you can also add the regional languages that you speak under this introduction. Okay. So ich spreche English, not English. Okay. So just like countries are called differently, languages are also called differently. Okay. So das ist ich spreche English. Okay. Whatever other languages you all speak, but at the end you have to add Deutsch. Okay, because now you all are learning to speak Deutsch. So, ich spreche English. Follow it up with other languages that you speak. If you speak any other foreign language, sure, you can add that also. Okay. Und ein wenig Deutsch, etwas Deutsch oder ein bisschen Deutsch. Now, what does that bracket say? So, normally you can just say, ja, ich spreche English und Deutsch. Na? Und is and. This we've seen when we covered numbers. Und is and. So, practically, if you're already in Deutschland right now and you're talking to a German, let's just say, you tell them, ich spreche English und Deutsch. I just say, ja, ich spreche Deutsch. The opposite person automatically assumes that I can talk in German. So they will start speaking in German the way they usually do. So that ein wenig, that etwas, or that ein bisschen, okay, there are 3 options. You can just pick any one you like. They indicate to the other person that I talk a little bit of Deutsch. Okay, so if you say ich spreche Deutsch, the person will be like, okay, you talk in Deutsch, let's talk in Deutsch. But this is to notify the other person that, yeah, I talk a little bit of Deutsch. So then that person will take that into consideration. They might talk slowly. They might talk in a language that, you know, that you will understand. So this is just to state that you are a beginner. You don't necessarily need to say that. That's why it's in a bracket. Okay. But if you feel like that, no, I can only talk little right now, you can add that to your skill. Okay, so this has more practical implications, or it has a more practical application than it is in exams or so. But of course, you can say that in an exam also. When you are, let's say if you're giving an A1 exam, you can just simply say, ja, ich spreche English, whatever other languages, und ein wenig Deutsch, und etwas Deutsch, und ein bisschen Deutsch. Okay, they all mean a bit of or little. Okay, as for those who are in Germany or will be going to Germany soon, IG words, no? IG words have a very strong dialect. Okay, so if you are in regions which are nearing Austria, or if you are in Bayern, like in Bayern, okay, so Bavaria, okay, Bayerisch is the dialect that they use in Bavaria. So, or if you are in regions which are closer to Austria, you will find a lot of kh pronunciations or a lot of kh used in this particular dialect. So they'll not say ish, they'll say ik. Okay, they will not say venish, they'll say venik. They'll not say zwanzig or dreißig or vierzig. They'll say zwanzig, dreißig, vierzig. So if you all ever hear this, don't worry, it's the same thing. They're just saying it differently. So they might just say ich heiße. Okay, or ich spreche. Okay, if you all live in any of these areas and if you want to pick up that dialect, go ahead and do that. Okay, so there is nothing wrong in picking up the colloquial dialect that is there. I personally don't prefer that dialect because it really hurts after a while, to be very honest. You try talking like that for 10-15 minutes with somebody, you're going to notice that you're going to have a sore throat. Okay, so it's not
more use of epiglottis.
yeah, genau. Yeah, it's a lot of stress on your throat, really. So, but if it is a personal choice, I personally don't prefer it. So even if I am in any of these regions, I will just go and say Ish and Venus, and the opposite person understands what I am saying. But make sure that if you all hear this, because sometimes what happens is students hear these dialects and they feel like, oh, did we learn it wrong? Is it supposed to be ik and not ik? Or did we learn wrong or were we taught wrong? So it's not the case. That's why wherever possible, I try to give these indications that these are specifically the words which you might hear differently in Deutschland. Okay. So if you do, don't worry, it's the absolute same thing with the same context. They're just saying it in a dialect. Okay. So if you choose to pick it up, yeah. If you choose to pick it up, you can go ahead and do that. If not, if you talk the way we are learning right now, that is also absolutely fine. They understand that part well, and you can still have a communication without the dialect. Okay, so we'll repeat this once. Sorry. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So we begin in jetzt. Okay. Welche Sprachen sprechen Sie? Okay, nochmals. Welche Sprachen sprechen Sie? Okay. Ich spreche Englisch und etwas Deutsch. Okay, so you can either say ein wenig Deutsch, etwas Deutsch, or ein bisschen Deutsch. It means I speak some Deutsch, little Deutsch. Okay, like that.
So, ma'am, etwas is something, right?
Etwas is something, yeah. But in this context, this means just some.
Okay.
Okay, etwas is something, yeah. All right, yeah. Clear? Now this Sprachen, Sprechen. Okay, it's a little bit like a tongue twister, so just repeat it once more. Okay, welche Sprachen sprechen Sie? Okay, if you see that pronunciation is also Z because it's SI now. We did that with vowels, so it's not C, it's Z. Okay, so welche Sprachen sprechen Sie? Okay, ich spreche Englisch und etwas Deutsch. Okay, also, so we'll do one more question, then we'll take a break for a few minutes. Okay, and we'll continue after that. All right. So let us go to the next question. The next Frage ist von Muttersprache. Mutter und Sprache. Mutter is mother, Sprache is language. So we are basically talking about mother tongue here. Okay, now here I have given both the questions, formal and informal. You can ignore the informal ones for now, right now, if you all wish to, because I'll be doing them with you separately when we do the concept. So if I feel like, okay, it's too much to remember, Just let them go. Okay? Yeah. So, was ist Ihre Muttersprache? Now, if you see the first question we did was, wie ist Ihr Name? This is, was ist Ihre Muttersprache? It was, wie ist dein Name? Aber das ist, was ist deine Muttersprache? That was, mein Name ist, this is meine Muttersprache ist. For now, just remember it's happening because of masculine, feminine. So Name is masculine, Sprache is feminine. That's the difference. But we learn this in detail when we do the actual concept. Okay, clear? Sometimes people feel it's a typo, so it's not a typo. All right, so this is mine und meine, ihr und ihre, dein und deine. Now, what they mean, how we got to that, all of that later. Okay, so repeat it once after me. Was ist Ihre Muttersprache? Alright. Was ist Ihre Muttersprache? Was ist deine Muttersprache? Meine Muttersprache ist, and you can follow it up with your mother tongue. Okay, whatever your native language is, you can just repeat it here. It is not so micro. So Indian languages, we say the way we say it. Indian cities, we say the way we say it. So that's not all gonna change in Deutsch. It's just the bigger part of it, like the macro part of it, that the country is called differently. Okay, but the languages still remain the same. Okay, so you can just go right ahead and repeat whatever your native language is as it is, because it's not gonna change in Deutsch either. Okay, so was ist Ihre Muttersprache? Was ist deine Muttersprache? Meine Muttersprache ist. Follow it up with your name. Okay, nochmals. Was ist Ihre Muttersprache? Was ist deine Muttersprache? Meine Muttersprache ist. Okay, all right. So far, good. Anybody has any questions? Okay. All of this is updated on your file. So whenever, if you all want to go through, you all can go through it. Okay. All right. So yeah, I think we just take a short break now. Okay. For about 5 to 7 minutes, 7, 8 minutes. Okay. And then we will continue. Yeah. 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 So take a break, then we will continue. Yeah. Everybody back? Yeah. All right. Anybody has any questions? Any doubts? You all want to repeat anything? Okay. So what we can do is, I'll just, yeah. So what we can do now is, we can practice, okay, a little bit with question and answer. So what I'll do is I'll put you all in breakout rooms, but okay. So how you all can practice it is one person can ask the question, the other person can answer, then the next person can ask the question, the person after that can answer. So I'll try and put you all in a group of 4 to 5 so that everybody gets a chance to practice. Okay, you all can open that sheet on your screen. Okay, make sure you do all the questions. Okay, so you do Nama, okay, uh, Nama, then Land, Wonot, okay, und Sprache. All the 4 questions. Okay, so you can practice it. So question, answer, you can do it in a circle. Okay, if you all have any questions, of course, you all can let me know. So I'll probably just enter in the breakout rooms one by one and discuss your doubts with you. Okay, all right. So just give me 1 minute. Just put you in. All right. So yeah, y'all can join in. Okay. All right. Okay. So make sure all of y'all speak. Okay. Practice with each other. Okay. And if y'all have any doubts, y'all can let me know. कुठलं आहे? Smoked chicken pizza.
1441.
हा चालेल.
मागू
चालेल चालेल.
मला जुनं
या मला भाकरी पण आहे चपाती.
बरोबर.
All right. Okay. Anybody has any questions, any doubts? Understood? Yeah?
Yes,
All right.
ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
You're able to speak? Okay. All right. So, of course, y'all can go through the recording if y'all feel like there are any more questions that y'all have or any problem with the pronunciation. Okay. Just a couple of things I observed while I was there in your breakout rooms. So, it is Sprache, okay, und Sprechen. So, maybe the last question we will repeat it once more. So, this is welche Sprachen sprechen Sie? Okay, so this is K. Sprache and Spreche. Okay, so welche Sprachen sprechen Sie? Okay, ich spreche, and then follow it up with your, okay, follow it up with your languages. Okay, and then the last question here is, was ist Ihre Muttersprache? Okay, meine Muttersprache. So the noun is Sprache and not Sprache. Okay, so ACH makes it K. Clear? All right. Okay. So we will do a thing. We will watch a short video today on the vocabulary for familiar. Okay. So family members, it's a very short video, should be done in 5 minutes or under 5 minutes, I guess. So don't worry, not extend the class. All right. I'll also post the link on your Google document so that you all can watch these videos again later and practice the vocabulary. Okay. So yeah, so just give me 1 minute. I'll share my screen. We can watch these videos. So mostly towards the end now of the class, I will try and play some videos, okay? Some content. We'll also watch some short films, okay? Once you all learn more, okay, where you'll be in a position to understand that. So we'll just watch at the end 5-10 minutes. We'll just watch something and then conclude the class, okay? So yeah. So just give me 1 moment. I'll share my screen and we'll watch the video and then we can conclude the class. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So just tell me if the audio is clear. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Audio clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So just listen to this.
Meine Familie. Das ist meine Familie. Die Großeltern. Das sind meine Großeltern. Der Großvater. Opa. Das ist mein Opa. Die Großmutter. Oma. Das ist meine Oma. Die Eltern. Das sind meine Eltern. Die Mutter. Mama. Das ist meine Mama. Der Vater. Papa. Das ist mein Papa. Die Geschwister. Das sind meine Geschwister. Die Schwester. Das ist meine Schwester. Der Bruder. Das ist mein Bruder.
Yeah. Okay. Anju?
Ma'am, what is Geschwister?
Geschwister are siblings. Die Geschwister. Okay. So Geschwister are siblings. So der Bruder, die Schwester, zusammen, together, their Geschwister. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
All right. Yeah.
Means
Anybody
just
else?
like elder sister.
No. Geschwister are siblings. So if let's say I'm not a single child, let's just say I have two siblings. So that is then Geschwister. So it doesn't matter, elder or younger. They're just Geschwister are siblings major. Okay? All right. So I'll put up the video. Y'all can watch it again as well. Okay. So yeah, I guess that's alles then for heute. We'll stop for now. So I'll see you all now on Monday, same time. Okay. And we will continue.
Ma'am, can you just request to upload the video by tomorrow morning?
Yes. I'll
Thank you.
have them know that. Yeah, I'll text them. Okay.
Thanks. Much
Yeah.
appreciated.
All
Thanks.
right. Okay. So I'll let them know. Okay.
Tomorrow is Saturday. I don't think it will happen, but on the other day.
I'll just try. I'll just try from my end to
Like,
text them.
like on Tuesdays and at least on Thursdays, if you can.
Yeah, I'll just do the part of texting them, then we'll see.
Yeah,
Okay.
because we need some time to
Time to
practice.
practice. No, I
Yes.
understand. Okay, I'll just message Heather. I'll tell him that. And let's hope that y'all get the video sooner. Okay? All right.
All right.
Okay.
See
All
you. Good
right.
night.
So yeah, cheers. Schönes Wochenende. Have a nice weekend, all of you.
Vielen
See you.
Dank.
Cheers.
Auf Wiedersehen,
Guten
ma'am.
Abend.
Tschüss, ma'am.
Auf
Danke.
Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen, ma'am.
Tschüss.
Auf
Auf Wiedersehen, ma'am.
Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss.
Cheers. Cheers.
Tschüss.
Bye.
Cheers.